Hello everybody, this is Frankie Day from Frankie Day Models. Okay, for this Antarctica Tuesday, chilly, very cold night, I have for you video number 4, the final reveal for Charlie Mac's anniversary Pearl Harbor group build. This will be my third entry, I just finished. I got one more to go, that's the Kingfisher, so I have that for you probably the first of next week maybe. I have that done to be my last entry. Maybe, perhaps this weekend, maybe. I don't know. I'll surprise you, even myself. Okay, this is my third entry that I've finished. This is the Tamiyia 148 scale Brewster Buffalo. Painted in non-specular light gold gray, 1940. We'll take the camera, we'll look at it, and I'll talk. As we look at the little pert Buffalo. Okay guys, this here is the Tamiyia 148 scale Buffalo by Tamiyia. I painted this thing in unspecular light gold gray. It was all done, I glossed the hell out of it up and gave it a good wash. You can see on the wings how the wash pops out. The surface detail of this thing, for a model that's 50 years old, pretty close to 50 years old, I'll say about 45 years old, it's not very bad. Nowadays, it supersedes the old Tamiyia kit, but the old Tamiyia kit still stands out very well. The Brewster Buffalo is one of those airplanes I like to build because it's a early airplane. This is the United States Navy's first monoplane. The Bureau of Aeronautics for the United States Navy was trying to get away from biplanes. And I guess Brewster kind of stuck their foot in their mouth, or actually, in layman's terms, ate a little bit more than they could chew. The Brewster Aircraft Company actually wasn't an aircraft company at all. It was, they made parts for airplanes and parts for ships and boats and stuff. They made parts for everything. They were just a company, and they tried their hand at making an airplane, and they heard that there was manufacturers, that the United States Navy was looking for new designs. So actually the SBA, which was the first monoplane that Brewster ever built. They never built an airplane before. And it looked like a crossbreed between an OS2U Kingfisher and a Brewster Buffalo. The English used them for a while, and they decided not to use them anymore because they had problems with them. The Brewster Buffaloes came out back in 1937. They came out, and only a few squadrons only made them. They were very behind, the Brewster was, in making an assembly of, because they were not an aircraft company. These were actually built to order. It's like, for example, like going to a mail hobby house. You want a model of this ship right here. If it's like a vacuum form kit, like a custom-made kit, like Blue Jacket kits. They are built or placed by order. I want 5 Brewster Buffaloes. See how they work out, and I may want more. Okay. And they write out an order for 5 Buffaloes, and they start proceeding on it. It takes about a year later they finally get it. Well, the Buffaloes seem to be a pretty good plane at first, but they start to show problems, generally like all airplanes. You just got to work the bugs out and figure out what they were, and they were. The bugs are being worked out of these things, but Brewster would never comply with the United States Navy. They wouldn't answer back with them like that, because the reason what killed the Brewster Company is because of the management problems they had. They wouldn't actually fill the bill what you needed. And so the United States Navy had it with them. They packed it in with them, so hell with you guys. The airplanes are crap anyway. We're going something else. And they were a good airplane. They really were. I think most of the problems they had with these things outside, mechanical problems like overheating engines, no armor protection between the windscreen, and underpowered motor. You had a lot of pilots that never flew combat before. That's how come we lost a lot of men back in World War II at the beginning of the war. Yeah, the airplane bad name. Same thing with the TBDs. But these airplanes were not matched to what they had designed for. This thing here just was a victim of its time. There was a all about timing how this thing was designed. This thing came out too late. If this little squirt would have come out by the time they were racing airplanes during the Bendix and Granville races using monopole aircraft, this thing could have done something. It could have been a mainstay. But it came out too late. It came out by the time the war started. And they knew. Are these things fit to go to war? That's all we got, boys. That's all we got. So fortunately, they didn't go that far. The Navy got rid of them. They gave them to the Marines. They had them at Guadalcanal. Actually, not Guadalcanal. They had them in Midway. And they lost a lot of these in the Battle of Midway. So the United States Navy didn't want these anymore. But 1942, the Navy said, hell with these things. Get rid of them. Who would give them to? Give them to anybody. The English, anybody. Maybe they can do better than we can. And they did. Because they were experienced aviators. They were war with Germany for a long time. I'll tell you, a nationality that really had excellent results was the Finns. This Brewster Buffalo had an 850 horsepower motor in it, the F2A-1. Underpowered and heat up all the time. Another problem they encountered on this thing is CO2 problem. Not CO2, but the carbon dioxide from the fuel. It go between the firewall and the instrument panel, and will get inside the cockpit and asphyxiate the pilot. That was another problem that was addressed to the Brewster company. They never got back to him. Undercarriage problems. Slamming on a carrier deck. It'll shatter the retracting links that pull in the oleos. It'll fracture and break them off. They said they need stronger undercarriage to this thing. They need to be beefed up. They never complied. The only way they got away with it from there on is that the pilots had to learn how to land these things very safely and softly as they can to avoid damage to the undercarriage. The Finns, during the Russian Winter Wars, had great results with these Buffaloes. Between the English and the United States, America, they took their hats off the back of their heads and started scratching. Figured, how in the hell do these people get so much kills on these things? We can't get nothing on them. They knew how to fight the Russians. And plus, the aircraft was evenly matched. The Russians more or less used the Polikarpov 116 Rada. Open cockpit, almost like the pea shooter I just showed you a while ago in the last video. It was a perfect match with the Buffalo. The Buffaloes that the Finns flew had 1,000 horsepower motors, and they had 50 caliber machine guns, one on each wing. We had them too, but we had problems with them. When they're in a rapid succession of firing, they got hot, and pretty soon the mounts that hold the guns in, when it gets so hot, they break from the mountings, the guns will ricochet back, and end up pretty shooting out the leading edge of your wings. They had problems there. Brewster never complied with that either. That had to be field maintained. So, like I say, by 1942, the Navy just packed it in with Brewsters to screw them. And so we got other stuff coming. We got a Hellcat coming in. Those Wildcats seem like you're doing a good job. We'll keep those. They're very promising. And Leo Grumman, he was right on the spot with those Wildcats. You make sure they're fixed. Make sure they're done as they're supposed to be. Had problems with them, they fixed them. Actually, they had no problems with them. These they did. Okay. All kinds of companies made the Brewster Buffalo. I think the first company that made the Brewster Buffalo was Revell. I remember I got one back in 1964. It was 50 cents. The landing gear worked in it. I remember that, and they had inspection panels that opened up and you could see the engine in that thing. The kit was actually junk. Rosie River had a very, very bad day in that kit. A very bad day. She was so mad she got shorted out of a paycheck, she made those ribbons stick up like straight pinheads. That kit could be used for a rasp. This is a nice kit for a kit that's 45 years old. It says on the sprue it came out in 74. That's about right. I bought mine in 75. I bought two of them. I've got one that I built. It's in a box in my storage. I've got one I haven't built yet. It's in my storage inside the room in there. Okay, I'm going to take the camera back to yours truly and finish up the video, fellas. And I got 2 more videos coming. You're going to be treated not with 1 video this evening. You're going to be treated with 3. So right after this uploads right here, I've got for you my group build, the Corsair group build. I explain more details into that build as I present it. That's coming up next right after this. And right after that, I've got the first entry for Charlie Mac's anniversary Pearl Harbor group build. That's the 1/32 scale Kitty Hawk OS2U Kingfisher. So don't be, so wait for that one too. I got that coming your way. Alrighty then. This is Frankie Day for Frankie Day Model signing off. Make Mama happy. Always take care of the little ones. And God bless you all. And spend wisely. And please, please be careful out there in public out there. Because this, like I said before, this virus ain't going away too soon. The only way it spreads is when you got a lot of people, around a lot of people. I learned this stuff when I was in school. I went to school back in my days. I went to school, fellas. They taught you stuff. Whether you had a piece of paper that said you graduated or not, you learned something in school. You did. And they taught us health and health class. When you get in with a lot of people, somebody is infected with something, you're going to get sick. People get sick from people. You can take one guy, can infect 100 people in a snap. He could be dog sick with a cold or a flu, whatever he's got. And if he had any sense, he would have stayed home, but people don't do that no more. People don't stay home for 2 reasons. Because they have to work, number 1, and number 2. Hell, if I'm going to get sick, you're going to get sick with me. That's a bad attitude right there. A very, very, very nasty, nasty, nasty attitude. If I'm sick, I got respect for my fellow humanity. I stay home. I'm going to go out there and get that poor guy sick, or that child sick, or her mother, or somebody. They're people, for Christ's sakes. People nowadays don't have no scruples. They went out the way of the dodo. But anyway, take care of yourselves and be careful out there. Wear a mask on. We go to these big stores, guys. Protect your children and everything. And say your prayers, and we'll get this world back in shape again. Okay, stay tuned for the Corsair group build update video. I've got that coming after this. This is Frankie Day for Frankie Day Models. Signing off. We'll catch you great chaps later. Love you fellas. God bless you all. And stay tuned.